People, today we'll be dealing with the Polaris question which comes in celestial navigation paper. The first thing that you should know is to identify any question which comes in an examination. So identifying this pole star question is very easy. The word pole star or Polaris will be mentioned in the question. And second thing that you have to do is you have to find the true altitude from the sextant altitude. Like index error will be given, height of I will be given, so you can easily find out the true altitude from the sextant altitude. And if you don't know, then you can watch the previous video about how to find true altitude from sextant altitude. I've already made a video about that. Now if you now you have already found out the true altitude from sextant altitude, now you will find the GMT which is given in the question. From that GMT you will find out the increment, then you will apply the increment, then you will find the final GHA. From GMT you will get the GHA, and from GHA increment. After increment, after looking to the minutes, pages and all, you will get the final GHA. Then you will note down the longitude which is given in the question. So GMT to GHA to increment, below that you will write longitude and you will get the LHA. Depends on LHA is equal to GHA plus minus longitude. If longitude is east, then you will plus, and if west, then minus. So you will get the LHA from GMT. Now you have got the LHA. Why you find the LHA in Polaris question? Because the third step is, first step is you will find the true altitude from sextant altitude. Second step is finding out the LHA from GMT. Third step is finding A0, not finding actually, interpolating A0, A1 and A2. You need this LHA to interpolate A0. So we'll write on a piece of paper A0 is equal to, now you will turn the pages of the almanac on this Polaris section. You can easily find out which page belongs to Polaris in almanac. You will turn that page for Polaris and you will interpolate the value of A0 based on the value of LHA that you have already calculated. Now you have got this A0. Now you will write below A0, A1. A1 interpolation is based on the latitude. So depends on the latitude. You can easily guess from the table. It's a very simple table for Polaris. A0 you will guess on the basis of LHA. A1 you will guess on the basis of latitude. In case the latitude is not given, you will guess the A1 on the basis of true altitude that you have found out from sextant altitude. After guessing A0 and A1, you will guess A2, which is based on the interpolation is based on the basis of month. So you can easily find out which month and which column will help you to find out the value of A2. It depends on the month, because in the question something will be given that in the month of April or May. So you have found out A0, you have found out A1, you have found out A2, not found out, interpolated. After that you will add all of them, A0, A1 and A2. After adding all of them, you will minus 1 degree, like getting the value of A0 plus A1 plus A2, total sum minus 1 degree. Whatever value that you will get will be the observed latitude. So this is the answer, and the observed latitude's direction will be north because pole star is never in the south. So direction for the observed latitude will be north. So this is one part of the answer. Now in the question it is asked that if the compass azimuth was this much and the variation was this much, then what is the deviation? So second part is find the deviation. So for finding the deviation you need a compass error, and compass error is the sum of variation and deviation. So what you need to know is what is the compass error, total error, because variation you are already provided with. So for finding the compass error, you will interpolate now the value of true azimuth, and this value true azimuth will be based on the same column provided in the almanac for Polaris page. You will turn out that page and you will interpolate the value of true azimuth based on the basis of latitude and LHA. You can easily interpolate what is the true azimuth. There is a separate column for true azimuth. You can easily see that column. When you have interpolated or guessed the value of true azimuth, you will write that value of true azimuth. That true azimuth is this much. Now you will find out, you will see in the question what is the compass azimuth. Below that you will write compass azimuth, and if the compass azimuth is more than the true azimuth, then error is west, because compass best, error west. So you will write that compass error. Now variation you have already been provided with, so you can easily find out the deviation. So this was all about Polaris. If I want to revise, then what basic things you have to remember in Polaris: pole star will be mentioned or Polaris will be mentioned. You can easily identify if this question belongs to Polaris. Second thing, you will find out true altitude from sectional altitude. You will find A0, A1, not find, interpolate A0, A1 and A2. You will add all three of them. Then you will minus 1 degree from that and you will get the observed latitude. Observed latitude's direction is always north. After that, you will guess the value of, interpolate the value of true azimuth from the same table given in the almanac. After guessing the value of true azimuth, you will write down the value of compass azimuth, which is given in the question. Now you will compare both of them, and if the compass azimuth is more, this means compass is best, so compass error is west, or in total compass error is west. Now you will get write the variation, and variation plus deviation is equal to compass error. You can easily find out the deviation. Thank you very much. This was all about Polaris. My name is Kamal.